Bonjour, welcome to Miss Lucy's Classic Cajun Culture and Cooking. I'm your host, Miss Lucy, and this is my co-host and granddaughter, Lucy. And today we're at Mr. Elton Bernard's cattle ranch, and we'll be having a great time because we'll be riding the range, herding the cattle, then going to the kitchen and preparing a wonderful meal. So you stay with us, Sha.
We'll be right back, Sha.
All right, Lucy, let's ride.
The Louisiana Seafood Marketing Board is a proud sponsor of Lucy's Classic Cajun Culture and Cooking Show. The Bayou State enjoys an outstanding culinary tradition. At the center of that tradition is seafood. And no wonder, Louisiana is one of the nation's leading seafood suppliers. And the Louisiana Department of Economic Development. Whether it's crawfish processing or meat packing, Louisiana is the business location for food processing, with infrastructure, site selection assistance, and workforce training. Louisiana, the shape of food technology.
What makes Louisiana so special? Our beautiful bayous and grand plantation homes surrounded by old oak trees, our music and joie de vivre, our unique way of cooking the bounty we harvest from the land and the water. It's our communities, our businesses, our people. That's why I love Louisiana and why I want to share my precious Cajun heritage with you.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Lucy and I had a fun time on the range, and we'll show you some of those highlights from the cattle drive later on. But now we'll have a good time in the kitchen, huh, Lucy? Yes, very good. We're all excited. Kind of sore from that horse ride, though, huh? Wow, that was tough. Mama hadn't ridden a horse in a long time. You know, when her horse ran away with her when she was a young girl? I was about 10 years old when a horse, Lightning was the name of the horse, and it ran away with me.
Like that horse ran away.
Well, yes, exactly. So, all right, let me turn this fire on here a minute. Of course, beef goes well with a lot of other dishes, so Lucy and I will be cooking a crawfish etouffee to be served on top of our beef. So, Lucy, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a roux, right? I've got my oil already in the pot, so we're just going to add this to it. Let Mama add this first because it's kind of, maybe it'll splash, and I really don't want you to get burned, okay? Very good. We're going to just use the whisk. This is a miracle thing. See this? Because you have to make a roux with this etouffee, but remember that it mustn't be very dark. And actually, I don't add as much flour to an etouffee as I do to a gumbo, because you want this roux to be kind of light and not have that really harsh roux taste. We're going to mix all this together. Now you see how it looks kind of, well, it looks like it's not as thick, right? But this will thicken up after a while. So, all right, now, all right, let's see. You know, Lucy, Cajuns make a lot of roux. You know how to make a roux? Have you ever seen Mama how to? Well, I tell you what, when you get big enough that you can stir this, I'm going to show you how. Because if you burn yourself with the roux, oh my gosh, it really hurts, and it's hard to heal. So we're going to have to be real careful. We have dark roux and we have light roux. Etouffees, it's always light roux. Remember that. And they are not as thick as the gumbo roux. So what we're going to do, oh look, it's turning a little light, because you want to let this be just a little pink maybe. You know, like peanut butter color. Yeah, kind of like peanut butter color. So, and you're going to throw all your seasonings in here, because actually you have to have your onions, bell pepper, and celery in the roux. So Cajuns make a lot of roux, and gumbo, the gumbo roux would be almost as dark as this pot. So you would want to cook that a little bit longer. So you see how it's turning? You see this? It's just getting kind of light. Right, right. Now, one time Miss Joyce Nell had come to the house, and she thought that I was going to make a horrible crawfish etouffee because the roux wasn't dark enough. She had never seen Mama's etouffees. But when she ate it, man, it was good. So would you start handing me the onions and the bell pepper and the celery? Thank you.
Can I pour it in?
Yes, you sure can. Go ahead and throw it in there. You know Cajuns throw everything in the pot. Very good. And the celery. Okay, very good. Now you want to saute this a little bit, you see? Because that's all you need. You need to saute your vegetables very lightly. You see how they get real pretty? Oh, so thank you, Lucy. You really are clean. So you're not a messy cook. But anyway, now you see how that's all? Wow. So now Mama's going to add the water because actually you have to add a little water in here. All right, very good. Woo, cameraman's nightmare, right, Lucy? Right, but that's okay. And you have to go ahead and pour more water because you don't want it to be too thick. Now Mama's going to add also, you cook this for about 5-10 minutes together. And then you add those gorgeous Louisiana crawfish. Very good. Now,
Yum.
right, now we want our salt and pepper, you know, because Cajuns can't cook without salt and pepper. Louisiana hot sauce, thank you. You know what that is. All right, and our parsley. And what's that?
Onion.
Onion tops, correct. Just put them in. And while the crawfish etouffee finishes cooking, let's focus on beef, because beef is tops in my house because it's still the general's favorite meat. Now, you may not think that there's cattle ranches in Louisiana and that they're big, especially with Texas next door, but we still have access to some beautiful cattle, like on Mr. Bernard's cattle farm, huh, Lucy? They were gorgeous. This is how our cattle drive begins. Come on, little doggies. Lucy is helping me inspect the herd. Pretty bumpy back there, huh, Lucy? Seems like Nicky, our horse, knows exactly what's going on and directs the bull out to pasture. This beautiful Charolais bull is king of the herd. Well, Mr. Elton, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. I thank you, and man, we're having a real good time. I hope you're enjoying us as much as we are you. This is your cattle ranch, and you've got, you know, I didn't know they had cattle ranches in Louisiana. I thought just Texas had cattle ranches, but you've got a neat one. How many acres do you say you've got here?
We have approximately 400 acres of land right here on the farm itself. This is a mini Cajun ranch, you call it.
Right.
But we're very fortunate that we have one of grass this year with the drought that we had. But we grow our own hay and feeds or grains, what have you.
So how many years you been doing this?
More or less all my life.
Oh, that's not long. You're a little kid.
Yeah, a long time
A
ago.
long time ago, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but, you know, it's very interesting. You have anything to share with me today that you'd like for me to know about your ranch?
Well, of course, we encourage people to eat more beef, but I'm in the seafood business, so I have to ask you to eat a few crawfish, too.
Well, listen, there's nothing like good old seafood and beef mixed together. You know Cajuns, they cook everything at one time.
Put it all in one pot, make some gumbo.
Yes, right. And this little Charolais bull will be prince of the herd before too long. After a hard ride in the saddle, it's time to get back to the kitchen. Guess what's for dinner? Beef. Lucy, what'd you think about that cattle drive? Did you like that? It was fun riding Nicky, wasn't it? Well, now that our crawfish etouffee is cooked, look at that, how pretty. See, it really ended up pretty. You're going to enjoy eating those wonderful Louisiana crawfish. We're going to cook that steak we promised you. So we'll do that chicken fried steak, okay, Lucy? Oil is hot, because that's important. And the seasoned steaks will go, I'm going to just dip them through this very well beaten up eggs. You know what that is? And then what we're going to do, would you like to put another one in there? Just go ahead and do it for Mama. Help me do that quickly, because we're going to have to fry some steaks today. Very good. Wow. Then you put it in the flour. You see, you know how to do that. Right. You've been practicing? You've been rehearsing, Lucy? No? Well, you're doing good. You like to cook? Chip off the old block, huh, Lucy? All right. Oh, I'm going to turn this fire off now. All right, let Mama have it. Very good. And you do the egg. Let's do some teamwork here, okay? Oh, you like to play in the flour, huh? Oh, well, what they say, all good cooks are messy cooks. One more, and that'll be all we're gonna need, because you know what? We're gonna need to brown this real well, because you want to brown them on both sides. And that's just like frying chicken. Matter of fact, some people might think that this is fried chicken, but it's chicken fried beef steak. You use the tenderized steak for this one, right? See, it's cooking real well here. The first one, you be careful because you don't want to burn them. You got to cook them fried. Fast. You got to fry them fast, because if you don't, it's going to be oily. So let's see. Oops, not brown enough yet. So, boy, I tell you what, we had such a good time on the range. What was your favorite part?
Riding Nicky.
Right, Nikki was a good horse. I sure liked her. Maybe we can get Daddy to get you a horse before too long, right? Yeah, you'd like that. You and Mama love horses. What would you name a horse, Lucy?
I don't know.
Oh, what about Blue? You like Blue? You like Blue. Let's talk to Uncle Floyd about that. Uncle Floyd can get you a Blue, can't he? Wow.
He can let me have her.
You know, that's right.
He told.
Yes, that'd be, oh, I like him. I really like Uncle Floyd. He's a good old boy. Yeah. All right, let's see if we can. No, they're not quite brown. You see, this has got to be just golden brown. And then, you know, that's your Mama's favorite meal? She loves chicken fried steak. And today we're going to fix them a very special way. And you're going to have to hand me the platter over there after I get them brown. I think my fire wasn't quite dark enough. So let me see what we got. My oil wasn't quite hot enough, really, because it usually doesn't take this long. This is a quick and easy thing. You know that? You've had that before, haven't you? And man, with that etouffee on top. Now, of course, etouffee goes well with rice. But, you know, hand me the platter over here, babe. I think that this one might be done enough. Let me see about this. All right. Yeah, we've got two of them. See, okay. Very good. Let me put this one in here. Good. And we're going to put this one in here. Because, you know, this is only one way that beef is prepared from tenderized steak. There are many other cuts of beef that are better cooked in different ways. Of course, it's so important to know which cuts to buy for stews or for grilling or to make a nice roast. And I went to a meat packing company, and you know what I asked them, Lucy?
Where's the beef?
Correct. This is my good friend, Deb Morel at Thompson Packing Company in Slidell, Louisiana.
Yes, ma'am. Good to see you, Miss Lucy.
This is where the beef's at, right, Deb?
This is where the beef's at.
Right. Now, I want to learn a little bit more about this besides learning how to cook it. This is the corned beef, and this is the
Sweet pickled pork.
And this is wonderful for seasonings and just beans and stuff. And this, Mama never fixed this, but we do now, okay? I'm a classic Cajun now.
I got you.
And this is the ground beef, which I would use for Cajun burgers, right?
Right, these lean ground chuck beef burgers would be fantastic for Cajun burgers.
And this is the stew meat that, of course, I generally make stew. But you can also smother them and make a wonderful gravy with that,
oh,
Dad.
God, rich as can be, absolutely.
And your ribs, of course, I bake these in the oven, but you said they could be grilled.
Yeah, the braised, the beef short ribs are just great braising as well.
And this is your wonderful rib. Prime rib roast, beautiful, and it's done special.
Yeah, we Frenched it to add a little added attraction.
Cajuns don't worry about what it looks like, it's what it tastes, but that's a good idea. I'll have to remember that. And of course, this is your chicken fried steak.
Right, these beef cube steaks are great for chicken fried steaks.
Oh, we love that at home. I cook a lot of that. And then this is
beef Swiss steaks or grill steaks, if you will.
Right. Well, I'd rather do the T-bones rather than the grill. And this is my roast. Look, honey, you've never lived till you've had roast, rice, and gravy. So I love this. I stuff them. And where does this come from?
Well, this nice piece of roast here comes from the chuck and is a marvelous for making a good flavored pot roast.
Right.
And the roast you're speaking about here is from the beef round.
Right,
and of course you can see how lean it is, where you'll be able to cook it down real nicely.
What are these now?
Here we begin the steaks for grilling or broiling, and at the front we have a boneless sirloin steak.
Oh, right, boneless. Okay, and what's this? That's your...
And here's your filet mignon or your beef
Right.
tenderloin steak
Right.
in a single serving.
Right, that
And-
with bacon and go for it, right?
Oh, absolutely. And this would be a double cut for Chateaubriand of the same exact steak.
Like my mother would say, what did you say?
Chateaubriand?
Yes. And these are the beautiful T-bones, ribeyes that you have cut.
Absolutely.
Right? And this was a prepared steak, which that's what this was transformed into that.
That is correct.
Okay.
What
Well-
we did for you was to cook one of these beautiful, what we refer to as a beef cowboy steak,
Right.
which is a bone-in ribeye steak, and set it up in a plate for you.
Boy, this looks so good. Cajuns enjoy beef, but they have to have lots of other dishes on the table, too. So, Lucy, let's finish cooking our meal. See, we also have cantaloupe today to feed, because you know you like cantaloupe, baby. So isn't this gorgeous? You see the beef with the crawfish? But let's do a Janet's eggplant casserole. See, I've got some, what's this? What's this? Sausage. You like these sausage. You were eating them almost all. I've been browning these sausage in this pot to, you know, just time element. Then I'm going to add some onions to this. Brown this real good together. Let me speed my fire up here. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to show you how to prepare. Well, I've already cut some sausage and put it in there, but this is how you want them in little pieces. Now, you can cut them up in either smaller pieces. This is the smoked sausage that you have to use. This is great. Gives it a wonderful flavor. Now, this is the eggplant that I'm going to use. I have boiled my eggplant. You don't want to boil it too much. You see, it's still firm, but it's really, really easy to get the meat out of. I call it meat. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to add the eggplant meat. See, take it out. Put it in here, because you have to cook all this together. Okay? All right. That's good. All right. See, Lucy? You like eggplant or you don't like eggplant?
Don't like.
I didn't think you like it. You know, most little children don't like eggplant, but that's okay. You grow up to like it. This is how you cut it up. To get it, and put it in the pot. Now, I'm not going to waste anything today because you know Cajuns don't waste. They like to put everything, cook it all. So, I'm going to put it in the pot. Just everything in the pot, because this has got to saute. This is going to be, I like this. And Miss Donna loved it. You know, my director, she really liked it. She had a sample of it when I was preparing. Ooh, she really thought it was good. Put this here, get this out of the way. See? It's not hard to do. Brown this real good. All righty, let me put my spoon here. You checking it? Yeah? Okay. Now we're going to add some cream of mushroom soup. You know what this is, don't you? Mama cooks with it a lot, doesn't she? Your mama. She doesn't like to cook, though. But she's a good cook when she does cook. Now, Mitty cooks good. All right. Now, you see this? Look at it. Yes. Okay. To this, we're going to add salt and pepper. Of course, Cajuns don't measure, Lucy. You see, you got to follow Mama's instructions. You just throw it in there. Cajuns don't measure. Yeah, but listen, be careful now. Not too much pepper, because you don't want to burn your mouth. There you go. You did that so good, girl. Go on. Yeah. You are a doll. Look, you see, now that's all cooking together. Now to this, to make it hold its consistency, you're going to add some squeezed bread. See, this would be fun for you to do. Would you like this? Here, let me hand it to you, and you put it in there.
Can I
squeeze it? Well, okay, let's do it this way, okay? Good, go ahead. Go ahead and squeeze that bread in that water. Watch your arm. Very good, that's good. Just put it in the pot. That's fine. Oh, she's going to be a great cook, just like her mama. Okay? All righty. We're going to mix all this together. And of course, next, what the next step is, add it all together. You turn your fire off, huh, Lucy? You know, ooh, another cameraman's nightmare. We just giving those poor cameramen a fit today, huh? Yeah. All right, now to this, what you're going to do, you're going to take your pretty eggplant shell. See this? And you stuff it. Just so pretty. And then you're going to bake this in the oven at 350 for about 10-15 minutes. Just go ahead and let it get good and hot. And you serve that with your meal. Okay? See, this is the finished product. This is what it's going to look like when it comes out of the oven. You want to do the cantaloupe? Yeah, look at that. But you know what? I've already cut some up. Would you like to sample some? Go ahead. Go, girl. All right. This is how you peel a cantaloupe, Lucy. Be very careful not to cut your hand. And, of course, you know what Cajuns do? They don't even cut it up like this. But for you today, I'm going to cut it up bite size. Because Mama, if she would be putting it on her table, she would just peel it like this and put it on her plate like this. And go ahead and serve it. I put salt on mine. Do you like salt on yours? No? Oh, well.
It's okay.
It's okay? Can you do this for me and help me? This is going to be our chess pie. Of course, I had a wonderful neighbor, and Erie just was such a doll. She taught me many things. Mama never made chess pies. Of course, what surprised me is that we had cornmeal in here. So anyway, we made this gorgeous chess pie, and it was just great. And Erie taught me how to do it. You never did meet Erie because you weren't born when poor Erie passed away. All right, now Lucy, you've helped me with the eggs. So let me put the eggs in this. Actually, what a chess pie is, it's just, I guess, a custard pie with cornmeal in it. So you whip up your eggs. Now you add butter to this, melted butter or margarine. I always say butter, but it's margarine because it'll help your orders get on. Whoops, here we are. And your vanilla flavor, whip this up. This is half and half. This is what she used, or cream. I guess you could use the cream, but she used that. Okay, and whip this up real good, Lucy. Good cantaloupe, huh? Real good? You enjoying it? Very good. Okay, this is when you add your cornmeal. And you whip it up. This is so weird that you put cornmeal in a pot, but it is just wonderful. You really would enjoy it. Then you pour it in your pie shell. Of course, you notice the beautiful pie shell I made. I kind of cheated. Went to the grocery store and bought it. But that's okay. Oops. Let me just go ahead and pour this in here. All right. Now we're going to take this pie, baby, and we're going to bake it in the oven for, I guess, about an hour at 325. So, all right, let Mama put it here in the oven. Very good. And, of course, this is my halo. We're going to put it over the pie crust so we don't burn our edges. You see how pretty and golden brown that is? Yes. Everything's all done. Can you believe that? We have finished our meal. Yes. Thank you, Lucy, for helping me. You've been such a big help today. Would you like a plate? You would? All right. Mama's going to let you have a plate, and we're going to enjoy our dinner.
After having a great time at the cattle farm today and also preparing a delicious meal in the kitchen, I want to share with you a letter from a lady, Miss Beulah Gooch from North Anson, Maine. And Beulah writes, Dear Lucy, I happened to turn my TV on public broadcasting station today. I caught the last part of your cooking show. Your granddaughter is darling. She is very lucky. I never had anyone teach me to cook, so I struggle with it. My husband lived in Louisiana when he was in his 20s. He loves Cajun cooking. He is from Tennessee. You were making Kirk's brisket, rice dressing, corn maque choux, fruit salad, and shrimp noodle salad. I missed the segment on how to make the brisket and dressing and the recipes for them. I've enclosed a self-addressed envelope. I hope you have time to jot down the recipes for me or send me information on how to obtain your cookbook. I felt like I was in the kitchen with you. You were so friendly. I wanted to be there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did get the recipes for the corn, fruit, and shrimp salad. I want to surprise my husband. He is a very good cook. I'm not a cook, but I keep trying. I'll be watching for more segments of your show. I need to see how a cook prepares the meal as well as have the recipe. Maybe before I'm 90, I'll master it. I have 10 grandchildren, 7 granddaughters. One loves to bake cookies with me. I've mastered cakes, cooking bars, fudge, probably because I have a sweet tooth. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Love, Beulah. Thank you, Beulah, for sending this wonderful letter to me. I always enjoy hearing from my viewers. And thank you for joining me today.
C'est noir que le diable peut pas les voir et ça me fait du mal.
Look us up on the World Wide Web at lpb.org.
The Louisiana Seafood Marketing Board is a proud sponsor of Lucy's Classic Cajun Culture and Cooking Show. The Bayou State enjoys an outstanding culinary tradition. At the center of that tradition is seafood. And no wonder, Louisiana is one of the nation's leading seafood suppliers. And the Louisiana Department of Economic Development. Whether it's crawfish processing or meat packing, Louisiana is the business location for food processing. With infrastructure, site selection assistance, and workforce training. Louisiana, the shape of food technology.